weekend. I'm again here to sit in for my comrade, my colleague, Honorable Semuju. We must all aware that he lost his big brother, who we buried yesterday in BESIGYE. So as you know, even if it was a white man, you wouldn't see him today. They say, so they are still there. We're trying to mourn, but I know they'll be here. We want to feel for him. Today is the birthday of our Secretary General, making 56 years of age. Also want to wish him a good life and a good future. I have been sent to speak about just two issues, and I would want to keep them brief. The first issue is the issue of the escalating prices of fuel in the whole country. It's an issue that we had wanted to discuss last week, but we thought it could be managed. By the way things are, the situation is too bad for the people of Uganda, who have actually just been allowed to start working. Remember, the economy was opened on Jan 1st, so you would expect that incentives that would be created to help the people of Uganda be able to go along their normal life. But when you look at the prices today, if you found a fuel station that is charging you less than 5,000, you know they are giving you air. It is above 1,000. Last week in Hoima, the prices of fuel reached as far as 15,000 a liter, where you would find at 10,000 you would feel that this one is cheap. And no voice has really come out straight to come and address Ugandans on the matter. A crisis like this, a person who sits in the State House, this is the right time he would come and address the people of Uganda. Today when you go to all the fuel stations, 5,400 shillings, 6,000 shillings, and you know in Uganda fuel is the driver of all the things we buy, the commodities, the essentials. So you find the prices of food have gone up when transport increases, because most of the transportation that we use this kind of transport. So you are going to go in a shop and they tell you push has increased, sugar has increased, and everything has increased. In a country where we always have a constant in salaries, we are being told that the cause of this is the COVID test at the borders. We talked about the COVID tests at the airport, whereby a person tests just nearby in Kenya, hours or a day to come into Uganda, and he reaches at the airport and is again tested. And then we realize that when you are tested here, they don't even give you the results. People would wait for hours, and VIPs will even go, minus even just being told the negative. Because when you go to the airport, they tell you, yes, negative, go, we shall send the results on your email. But nobody, I have not heard somebody who tells me that on their email, results have been posted. And we got information that somebody big in the midst of health is the owner of that business. Many would be guests of this country cancelled their flights. So the tourism sector that was trying to catch up with Kenya, Tanzania and Rwanda eventually went down. Because nobody is ready to wait for 3 hours. And they failed to understand, like even, there are people who come to Uganda as a link. Somebody comes to Uganda for 2 hours, have a meeting of 2 hours and they fly out. So if that is the situation, now you're asking people to go and meet in Kenya. So as that was still there because they failed they could not want to lose those $30. Eventually now they went to the borders. And they were asking for the same money. So truck drivers who would be tested in Kenya would again be tested in Uganda. Now eventually they said, no, we are not going. In the slang language of Kampala, the government of Bisam 7 operates like a Bairibi. With the Juakali, you never have a capital, but you come to Kampala and find of living. They are Juakalis. They don't have a single liter in their reserves. So with this kind of scarcity, eventually what happens is they can't run to their reserves that had been created by the government that are some 7 called swines. So the swines created reserves in Jinja, where would keep fuel. In times like these, they would be used to come and fix the situation. This has never happened. And then the people of Uganda must also be aware that one of the commodities that is highly taxed in this country is fuel. On every liter of fuel, as per the last budget, government was picking 1,600 per liter. 1,600 per liter. It is the reason why you are seeing that one of the things that is causing inflation in this country is the fuel. That is why when all other countries' prices are low, ours keep high. Now when you bring in the mafiaism, because when you create such a crisis, you create what in economics you call hoarding. So those who have fuel are now keeping it. So now it is like a deal. If you need, someone tells a jerrycan of petrol, of diesel, someone tells you, for me I have it at 7,000. If you want it, I'm bringing it. So now we could even find a cartel coordinating, please, first stop, don't deal with this matter, so that in a week's time, because actually if it keeps here for about 2 weeks, some people are going to become very rich. Because if somebody was keeping about 20,000 liters of petrol, which was about 3,000, and you are in Hoima, and you are selling each at 10,000, and you are picking 7,000 from each liter of what? Of petrol. Those guys are going to become rich. So when we keep talking about apartheid, creating a class of the rich and the poor, this is what we're talking about. So colleagues of the media, get interested in this matter. Don't allow them to invite you at their center to address other issues. Ask them to address the issue of fuel. The other issue that I've been asked to address is the issue, actually the line that I forgot yesterday at the burial, the former Supreme Mufti, Sheikh Chibal, was saying that government cannot even at least formulate a lie. You know, when you make a religious leader preach asking for at least tell a lie. Because I was comparing that where I went to bury, they used to consume fuel of 70,000. Now they are consuming 150,000. So we are saying that even the number of people who would have come to bury reduced. So I want to implore those managing this country and the people of Uganda, because at this time we would be inviting people to walk to work, but already the majority are walking to work. According to the government statistics, to the public statistics, all of you who live this country in the evening, this town in the evening, you must be knowing that all the roads that are moving out of this country, going to Tebe Road, going to Weyogerere, going to Bombo Road, all of them, you would think that possibly it is 3rd of what? Of June. People are going for a pilgrimage. Others, what would they call Kuramaga. So now if you ask them now walk to work, we're already doing what? Walking to work. Thank you. The other issue that I've been told to address is the opening up of schools. As aware, schools are, Mr. Museveni opened up schools, as he said. But as you are aware, many schools are still closed. The other day, even after opening up of schools, is when now the minister was telling us they're now sending those who are going to teach, the head teacher and the teachers, on the new curriculum. So now we are wondering, what are our children doing at school right now? Schools, many are closed all over the country. Even when you move around this town, where you used to know there is a school, you see the place is closed. Somebody was giving some statistics, which I believe are not fair statistics. They are saying that about 40,000 teachers left teaching. But that must be a small number. Because if you see the number of Ugandans that left this country to go to the Middle East where teachers during the lockdown, we are high. So nobody has done an audit of how many teachers are not at school. How many schools have not opened? Because some have not opened because they don't have teachers. Others have not opened because they don't even have the money to do the basics, pay for the basics. Others have not opened because parents don't have money. Would think that government, this would be the right time to see that there is a government. You know, when you capture people, show people that you have captives, because we are their captives. When you have slaves, you must be seen to be having slaves. You feed them, you clothe them, because even now in our laws, if somebody has a debt with you and he can't pay, if you take him to court and he's taken to Luzira, you pay. Now this is the time when people need to see government. I think there is a musician who has his "Where Are You?" Yeah? This is when they say, government, where are you? Pay their teachers. Both private and what? And public schools. Because if we do what we are doing, many children of this country are not going to school. And as I told you last week, if they don't go to school, as your children are graduating, they will also be graduating. By the qualification in which they will be graduating, you will pay the price. The kids you find on the streets asking for chikumi, they also graduate. When they graduate, they start grabbing. That is 10 years. When they graduate, at what would call yourself O level, they'll use stones or butayimba. When they graduate, as yours are going for degrees, they'll pick guns. Those who are in charge don't think you are safe in this kind of situation. You cannot be collecting all of these taxes and you think you're only going to concentrate on the welfare of only your children. They won't enjoy those buildings that you have. You won't enjoy them. Your children won't enjoy them. Where we are living, I am telling you, you won't sleep when the child of a poor man is what? Is hungry. You won't. Because you're not going to have lockdown or curfew all the time. Because the curfew was put there for the what? For the poor. And eventually Mr. Museveni came and explained it, saying, you see, we thought these youth who have nothing to eat. And you know, you can even say it, would come and break into people's houses. Then that tells you provide food. But even the food that was provided during COVID was eaten by those who have. Even the cars that companies brought were seen in the compounds of those who have. Now imagine if those who are grabbing from the money for the poor the money for the health sector. If they didn't go to school, what would they be doing? They would be worse than this one that we are having. So the best thing is that help everybody to have the opportunities, get opportunities. So that at the end of the day, they become good thieves who don't harm us. Of course, you guys also harm us by giving us bad roads and have accident people die, by not providing for health care in hospitals, and we can't die because there's no medicine. But we die without knowing. You know, many Ugandans, you see clapping, that let this government keep moving. Because of their ignorance, they don't know why they die. They think God has decided. As if God is not in Japan, God is not in all those other countries where people start dying at the age of 70, 90, and the like. Thank you. Those blunt questions, you know, answers. 74 schools for how, 74 billion for how many schools? Because that is when we run the numbers. What is the cost of a school? A good school. You have had big schools constructing own libraries at 1 billion. So if we are saying we are fixing schools, okay, let's say at 100 million each. 7 those would be 7 times those would be 49. 53 schools. We only need 53 schools that need this kind of money. The government paper, New Vision, published some months ago that 20,000 schools, 20,000 need help. So somebody tells you, you know, these guys love using these totals. Let me tell you the language of politicians. A politician comes at a village of 20,000 people and says, I've given you a cow to celebrate. He doesn't go to Rufura to bring meat. Want to know meat and cow are different. But he's aware that only a handful will be like to pick what? A piece. Now everybody going to say, did I give you a cow? He gave us a cow. He gave us a cow. And he knows that a cow cannot feed all of you. So when the guy talks about 70 billion, because they know many Ugandans, arithmetic is not their thing. They don't tell us because they know we run the numbers. Simple mathematics have showed if we say sending 100 million, we don't have 53 schools. But 20,000 schools from the New Vision wrote, need help. So which schools are going to benefit? If you run 20,000 divided by this money, you may find them sending 50,000. Then of course plus the dealers. To qualify for this, you must pay something. Now you are going to see schools writing that please we want to qualify. Remember the 20 billion they talked about for teachers during COVID? I found teachers writing proposals. And I told the teacher, please don't write. Keep that little money that you are taking for printing and go and buy what? A kilogram of what of bushel. And divide it as Museven told you for 4 days. Eventually told me, KAIJA, you know these things? I said, yes, this is our business. So knowledge for us is our business. They've never had that money, about that money. So in this, and then capitation grant, 13 billion. To how many schools? Colleagues, I want to implore you, when you go ask them the question, that how many schools are you giving this money? I'm going to share this money. They want to invite you again. How many beneficiaries? I just saw the other. I am still doing a study of the budget framework paper. When you see the numbers, the population census is telling us people who are rich, sorry, who are poor, are more than 40%. But they are saying this called parish model money is going to target 39%. What about the 1%? Then when I ran through the numbers, everyone will pick 8,000. You get teams and run through the numbers. Those guys will stop addressing the media and they go and eat their money and sleep. And telling lies. Tell me some him. not Dr. Muyingo, an educationist. That is he realistic? How many schools is he targeting? This money can't do anything. We'll find time and come and discuss their new budget. You will see how they are hoodwinking Ugandans. Then on that man of punishment, they are even going to train those who are going to teach people on how to use the money, and you know how much they earn. So at the end of the day, you come and pick your 5,000, but they will tell you, in your parish you set 100 million. And say, yes, they gave us 100 million. How much do you have in your house? You see somebody moving. That kind of psychological pricing must stop. You must start asking these guys the serious what? Issues. Other these guys are eating all of us. And the other issue on our economic policy on fuel, the questions I was raising is what I thought must be done. As a country must have reserves. That in times like this, those reserves are used to come and stabilize prices. 2, reduce the taxes on what? On fuel. As I told you, fuel is a key driver in our economy. Without it, we are what? We are doomed. Even some of the power we consume is thermal. And thermal, to make thermal, they use diesel. So if the prices of fuel are high, even you're going to go and ask for yaka, you will see how many uses they give you. And that is one area you people must also get interested in. These guys are eating all of us. For us to come here and make noise, what hurts us is that when the pain comes, it also affects us. If we could isolate that, you guys at least you know the problem, please be reserved. But for we and the ignorant people, we all what? Pay the same price. Asante.